progress report says we are at stage 12, paragraph page 1087. Okay, and our last headword was premises, Newark type of lesson. Okay,
Yes.
so let's start with our revision. Ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. First question. Would you like to work on the top floor of a 30-story skyscraper? Would you like to work on the top floor of a 30-story skyscraper? Yes or no?
Yes,
I would like to work
I would like to
on the
work
top floor
on the top
of a
floor
30-story
of a 30-story
skyscraper.
skyscrapers.
Why? Why? Because
I can great view on the top floor
I can
while
have
working.
a
I can have
great
a
view
great view
while working.
while yes
Oh,
while
wow. Yeah,
walking.
it will be very scary though for me. Okay.
Mm,
Do you think someone with a talent for learning languages can attain the same level of competence in a foreign language as they have with their mother tongue? Do you think someone with a talent for learning languages can attain the same level of competence in a foreign language as they have in their mother tongue? Yes or no? I
yes,
think someone
I think
with a talent
someone
for
with the
learning
talent
languages
for learning
can attain the
languages
same
can
level
attain the
of
same level
competence
of
in a foreign
competence
language
in a foreign
as they
language
have in their
as they
mother
have
tongue.
in their mother tongue.
Very good. What would I mean if I said the wedding day went like clockwork? What would I mean if I said the wedding day went like clockwork? If you said
If
the
you
wedding
said
day
the
went
wedding
like
day
clockwork,
went like
you'd
clockwork,
mean that
you'd mean
every
that
part of the wedding
every
day
part of the wedding
happened
day
on time
happened on
and in
time
the way
and in the
it
way
had been planned.
it had been planned.
Very good. Do passengers on long flights suffer discomfort if there isn't adequate leg room on the plane? Do passengers on long flights suffer discomfort if there isn't adequate leg room on the plane? Yes.
Yes,
Passengers on long
passengers
flights
on long
suffer
flights
discomfort
suffer
if there
discomfort
isn't
if
adequate
there
leg
isn't
room on
adequate
the
leg
plane.
room on the plane.
Where are accidents in the workplace often a consequence of inadequate safety measures? Are accidents in the workplace often a consequence of inadequate safety measures? Yes. Accidents
Yes,
in the workplace
accidents in the
are often
workplace
a
are
consequence
often a
of
consequence
inadequate
of
safety
inadequate
measures.
safety measures.
Where excluding the cost of rent and travel, about how much money do you need to get by each week? Excluding the cost of rent and travel, about how much money do you need to get by each week? Excluding the cost of
Excluding
rent
the cost of
and
rent
travel,
and
I
travel,
need about
I need about 7,000 yen
to get by each
to
week.
get by each week.
Okay. Is there any type of food you exclude from your diet to avoid problems with digestion? Is there any type of food you exclude from your diet to avoid problems with digestion? Yes or no?
No,
There isn't any type
there
of
isn't
food
any type
I
of food
exclude from my
I
diet
exclude from
to
my
avoid
diet
problems
to
with
avoid
digestion.
problems with digestion.
Where do airlines give their crew members training on how to cope with aggressive passengers? Do airlines give their crew members training on how to cope with aggressive passengers? Yes, airlines
Yes,
give their
airlines
crew
give
members
their crew
training
members
in how to
training
cope with
in how to cope
aggressive
with
passengers.
aggressive passengers.
When does a dog growl? When does a dog growl? A dog growls
A dog
when it
loud
wants to
when
show
it
aggression.
wants to show aggressive.
Very good. If a country had no army, would it be completely helpless in the event of a military attack? If a country had no army, would it be completely helpless in the event of a military attack? Yes. If a
Yes,
country had
if a
no
country
army,
had no
it would
army,
be completely
it would be
helpless
completely
in the event
helpless
of a
in the
military
event
attack.
of a military attack.
Give me another example of in the event of. Give me another example of in the event of, please. In the event of
In the
an
event
emergency,
of an
please
emergency,
alert a member
please
of
alert a
staff
member of
immediately.
staff immediately.
Very good. Why do some children at primary school find it hard to join in with others in the playground? Why do some children at primary school find it hard to join in with others in the playground? Some children
Some
at primary
children
school
had primary
find it
school
hard to join
find it
in
hard to join
with
in
others in the
with
playground
others in the playground
because they aren't used because they aren't
because they aren't
used
sorry
to
used
interacting
to
with
interacting
other children.
with other
They are
children.
shy,
They are
etc.
shy, etc.
Very good. One more. Some children at
Some
primary
children
school
at primary
find it
school
hard to join
find it
in
hard to
with
join in
others in the
with
playground
others in the
because
playground
they
because
aren't used
they
to
aren't
interacting
used to
with
interacting
other children.
with other
They're
children.
shy,
They are
etc.
shy, etc.
Very good. Do you think you'd enjoy the job of a driving instructor? Do you think you'd enjoy the job of a driving instructor? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think I'd
I
enjoy
think I
the
enjoy
job of a driving
the job of
instructor.
a driving instructor.
Why? Why do you think so? Because?
Because I like driving and teaching someone.
Very, very good. How do we moisten stamps so they stick to envelopes? How do we moisten stamps so they stick to envelopes? We moisten
We
stamps
moisten
so that
stamps
they stick to
so that they
envelopes
stick to
by licking
envelopes
them.
by licking them.
Very good. Give me an example of the word occasional. Give me an example of the word occasional, please. I have the
I
occasional
have
pint
the
of beer
occasional pint
at
of
the
beer
weekend.
at the weekend.
Are there occasionally serious outbreaks of flu in the world that cause a large number of deaths? Are there occasionally serious outbreaks of flu in the world that cause a large number of deaths? Yes, there are
Yes, there
occasionally
are
serious
occasionally
outbreaks of
serious
flu in the
outbreaks
world
of flu in the
that
world
cause a large
that
number
cause a
of deaths.
large number of deaths.
Very good. When swimming in a lake, why should one enter the water carefully rather than just plunge in? When swimming in a lake, why should one enter the water carefully rather than just plunge in? When swimming in a lake,
When swimming
one
in a
should
lake,
enter the
one
water
should enter
carefully
the water
rather than
carefully
just plunge
rather
in
than just plunge
because
in
the water may
because the
be too
water
shallow
may be too
or there
shallow
may be
or
rocks
there may be
close to
rocks
the surface of the
close to the
water.
surface of the water.
Very good. Okay. Okay. Next. Why are visitors often asked to register at reception when they enter the premises of a big business? Why are visitors often asked to register at a reception when they enter the premises of a big business? Visitors are often
Visitors
asked
are often
to
asked
register at
to
the reception
register at the reception
when they enter the
when they
premises
enter
of a
the
big
premises
business
of a big
for
business
security reasons.
for security reasons.
Very good. Okay, so that's the end of our revision. Let's have new word.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Let's have the first word. Okay, repeat. Troublesome.
Troublesome.
Very good. Okay, troublesome is an adjective. It means causing problems or worry, causing trouble. For example, my parents describe my brother as a troublesome child. He always cause trouble. Let's practice. Oh, do you think your parents would describe you as having been a troublesome child? Do you think your parents would describe you as having been a troublesome child? Yes or no?
No,
I don't think my
I don't
parents
think
would
my
describe
parents
me
would
as
describe
having
me
been
as having
a
been
troublesome child.
a troublesome child.
Very good. Next, repeat. Alter.
Alter.
Philosophy.
Philosophy.
Very good. Okay, listen. Alter is a verb. It means to change. Alter, change. For example, since she gave birth, the way she see life altered into something wonderful. Philosophy is a noun. It means a set of ideas about how to do something or how to live, the nature and the meaning of life, etc. For example, a person's philosophy on life often alters significantly as they get older. Let's practice. Why does a person's philosophy on life often alter significantly as they get older? Why does a person's philosophy on life often alter significantly as they get older? A person's philosophy
A
on
person's
life
philosophy
often
on life
alter
often
significantly
alters
as they get
significantly
older
as they get
because
older because they experience and learn many things as they get older.
very good. That's the experience. Okay, next repeat. Detach,
Detach,
semi-detached,
semi-detach,
terraced,
terraced,
bungalow,
bungalow,
mansion, dri-
mansion,
driveway,
driveway,
or just drive. Okay, next. Go for. Go
Go
for.
for.
Very good. Okay, so we're talking about a house. Okay, listen. A detached house stands on its own and doesn't share a wall with any other property. So detached house. A semi-detached house shares a wall on one side only. So it's two houses stick together. A terrace house shares a wall with another house on both sides. So it's a row house. Bungalow is a type of house that is all on one level, no second floors. For example, a bungalow is a good choice of accommodation for an elderly person because a bungalow is on one level and had no stairs to climb. Okay, very good. Mansion is a large and impressive house, the large house of a wealthy person. Mansion, for example, rich people live in a mansion. Drive or driveway is a short private road from a street to a house or other building where cars can usually be parked. For example, a mansion is most likely to have its own driveway. To go for, when we say to go for, means to prefer. For example, if I had a choice, I'd go for a mansion in the countryside than a luxury apartment in town. Yeah, let's practice. What's the difference between a terraced house, a semi-detached house, and a detached house? What's the difference between a terraced house, a semi-detached house, and a detached house? The difference between
The
a
difference
terraced
between
house,
a
a
terrace
semi-detached
house, a
house, and
semi-detached
a
house,
detached
and
house
a
is
detached
that a
house
terraced
is that
house
a
shares
terrace
a
house.
wall with another house.
Sorry,
Shares a wall.
shares a wall.
Wait, one more. The difference between
The difference
a terraced
between
house,
a
a
terrace house,
semi-detached
a
house, and
semi-detached
a detached
house,
house
and a
is
detached
that
house
a terraced
is that
house
a terrace
shares a
house
wall
shares a
with
wall
another house
with another
on both
house
sides.
on both
A
sides.
semi-detached
A
house
semi-detached
shares a
house
wall
shares
on
a
one
wall
side only,
on one side
and a
only,
detached house
and a detached
stands on
house
its own
stands on its
and doesn't
own
share a wall
and doesn't share
with
a
any
wall
other
with
property.
any other public property.
Very good. Why might a bungalow be a good choice of accommodation for an elderly person? Why might a bungalow be a good choice of accommodation for an elderly person? A bungalow
A
might be
bungalow
a good
might
choice
be a good
of
choice
accommodation
of
for an
accommodation
elderly
for
person
an elderly person
because a bungalow is
because a
on one
bungalow
level
is on
and
one
has
level
no stairs
and
to
has
climb.
no stairs to climb.
Well, which is most likely to have its own driveway, a mansion, a bungalow, or a terraced house? Which is most likely to have its own drive, a mansion, a bungalow, or a terraced house? A mansion
A
is most
mansion
likely to
is
have
most
its
likely to
own
have
driveway.
its own driveway.
Well, if you had a choice, which would you go for? A mansion in the countryside or a luxury apartment in town? If you had a choice, which would you go for? A mansion in the countryside or a luxury apartment in town? If I had the
If
choice,
I had a
I'd go
choice,
for
I'd go for
which one? A
a
mansion or
mansion,
in the
a
countryside
mansion in the
than a
countryside
luxury apartment
than a,
in town.
than
A luxury
than
apartment
a luxury
in
apartment in
town.
town.
One more. If I had a
If
choice,
I had a
I'd go
choice,
for a
I'd
mansion
go
in the
for a
countryside
mansion in the
than
countryside
a luxury
than a
apartment
luxury
in town.
apartment in town.
Very good. Next, repeat. Bug,
Bug,
virus,
virus,
bacteria,
bacteria,
defect,
defect,
microphone,
microphone,
embassy.
embassy.
Very good. Okay, listen. Virus. A virus is a noun. It is an extremely small living thing that causes a disease and that spreads from one person or animal to another. For example, when you have colds, you are advised to wear a mask to avoid spreading the virus. A virus also means a program in the computer that is designed to harm a computer by deleting data, ruining files, multiplying it many times, etc. And that can be spread secretly from one computer to another. For example, my computer isn't working well because of a virus from the software I downloaded last night. Bacteria is any one of the group of very small living things that often cause disease. For example, keep the wound clean and dry to prevent the growth of bacteria. Defect is a noun. It is something that causes weakness or failure. For example, They examine their products for defects. Microphone is a noun. It is a device into which people speak or sing in order to record their voice or to make them sound louder. For example, she needs to use a microphone so that everyone can hear her. Embassy. The word embassy is a group of people who work under an ambassador and represent their country in a foreign country. Bug. The word bug can be a noun and a verb. As a noun, a bug can be an insect, a minor illness caused by a virus or bacteria, a secret hidden microphone in an embassy, or a defect in a computer program. As a verb, to bug means to annoy. For example, we can say, it annoys me when people have loud mobile phone conversation on public transport. Or we can say, it bugs me when people have loud mobile phone conversation on public transport. Okay, let's practice.
Mm.
What's a bug? What's a bug? A bug can
A
be an
bug
insect,
can be an
a minor
insect,
illness
a minor
caused by a
illness
virus
caused
or
by a
bacteria,
virus or
a
bacteria,
secret hidden
a
microphone,
secret hidden
or a
microphone,
defect in a
or a
computer
defect
program.
in a computer program.
Right? Does it bug you when people have loud mobile phone conversation on public transport? Does it bug you when people have loud mobile phone conversations on public transport? Yes or no? It
Yes,
bugs me
it
when
bugs me
people have
when
loud
people
mobile
have
phone
loud mobile
conversations
phone
on
conversation
public transport.
on public transport.
Very good. Would you know what to do if your computer were infected by a virus? Would you know what to do if your computer were infected by a virus? Yes or no?
No,
I wouldn't know what
I
to
wouldn't
do
know
if
what to
my
do
computer
if
were
my
infected
computer
by a
were
virus.
infected by virus.
Very good. Let's repeat. Swap.
Swap.
Very good. Okay, listen. Swap is a verb. It means to replace or exchange something with someone else. For example, I like my friend's blue notebook and he liked my red one, so we swap. So we exchange. Let's practice. Huh. Would you be willing to swap your phone for mine? Would you be willing to swap your phone for mine? Yes or no?
No,
I wouldn't be willing
I wouldn't
to
be
swap my
willing
phone
to swap
for
my
yours.
phone for yours.
Very good. Let's repeat. Cup.
Sorry?
Cup.
Cup. Cup.
Very good. Okay, listen. Cup is a noun. It is an informal word for a police officer, policeman cop. For example, if I lost my way in a large city, I'd ask a cop. Let's practice. What's an informal word for a police officer? What's an informal word for a police officer? An informal word
An informal
for a
word
police
for a
officer
police
is a cop.
officer is a cop.
Very good. Next, dissolve.
Dissolve.
Very good. Okay, listen. Dissolve is a verb. It means to mix with a liquid and become part of the liquid. For example, sugar takes 3 to 5 seconds to dissolve in a cup of coffee if we stir it. Let's practice. How long does sugar take to dissolve in a cup of coffee? How long does sugar take to dissolve in a cup of coffee? Sugar takes
Sugar
3 or
takes
5
3
seconds
or 5
to
seconds
dissolve in a cup
to
of
dissolve
coffee.
in a cup of coffee.
Very good. Next, repeat. Pat.
Pat.
Simultaneous.
Simultaneous.
Very good. Okay, listen. Pat is a verb. It means to lightly touch someone or something with your hand, usually several times, like that pat on the shoulder. For example, I'm patting my shoulder. Simultaneous is an adjective. It means happening at the same time. For example, it isn't easy to pat one's head and rub one's stomach simultaneously. It's confusing. Let's practice. Is it easy to pat one's head and rub one's stomach simultaneously? Is it easy to pat one's head and rub one's stomach simultaneously? No, it isn't
No,
easy
it
to
isn't
pat
easy
one's head
to pat one's
and rub
head
one's stomach
and rub one's stomach
simultaneously.
simultaneously.
Very good. Next, repeat. Hang up.
Hang up.
Very good. Okay, listen. Hang up means to end a telephone call by putting the handset or its base or by turning the telephone off. For example, sometimes we get mad at the person we're speaking to on the phone. We hang it up without saying goodbye because we can't stand talking to them anymore. Let's practice. When was the last time you hang up on somebody in anger? When was the last time you hang up on somebody in anger? Or never?
Never.
I've never hung up
I've never
on
hung up
somebody in anger.
on somebody in anger.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Worth my while
Worth my while.
or worth your while.
Was your while.
Worthwhile.
Was while.
Outer.
Outer.
Inner.
Inner.
Outskirts.
Outskirts.
Very good. Okay, listen. Worth my while or worth your while means worth doing, interesting or rewarding. For example, if you help me, I'll make it worth your while because I'll reward you for helping me. Outer is an adjective. It means the outside part of something. For example, this is the outer part of a matchbox. Worthwhile is an adjective. It means worth doing or worth getting, worth good enough, important enough, etc. To be worth spending time, effort, or money on. For example, it's worthwhile exploring outer space because there are lots of good things to discover to help us understand the universe we're in. Inner means located towards the inside of something, not on the edge or outside of something. For example, this is the inner part of a matchbox. Okay, last one. Outskirt are the parts of a city or town that are far from the center. For example, many people prefer to settle on the outskirts of a city rather than in an inner city area because there are more cars, more people, and it's noisier in an inner city than on the outskirts. Okay, let's practice. If you live 3 hours away from the school, would it be worth your while coming here for lessons? If you live 3 hours away from the school, would it be worth your while coming here for lessons? No. If I
No.
live three
If I
hours
live
away
three
from
hours
this
away
school,
from
it
this
wouldn't
school,
be worth
it
my
wouldn't
while
be worth my
coming here
while
for lesson.
coming here for lesson.
Do you think it's worthwhile exploring outer space? Do you think it's worthwhile exploring outer space? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think it's
I
worthwhile
think it's worthwhile
exploring outer space.
exploring outer space.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading. Okay,
Yes.
reading is at stage 10, paragraph page 874. The last headword was movement. Okay, please start with the headword sneeze, bless you.
Yes, sneeze, bless you. What do we say when someone sneezes? We say bless you when someone sneezes. Which would you rather be blessed with health or
Wealth.
wealth? I'd rather be blessed with health
Hmm.
rather
Depart.
than health.
Very good.
Departure. At a train station, how can we check what time a train is due to depart and which platform it will depart from? At train station, we can check what time a train is due to depart and which platform it will depart from by looking at the departure board. At the air, sorry, at an airport, how long before departure mm,
Our people.
are people advised to check in? At an airport, people are advised to check in before
Check in 2 hours before.
checking. Yes, checking 2 hours before departure.
Hmm.
Crack workmanship. What happened if I beat hard on my pen? If I beat
If you,
hard,
if you bit,
if you beat hard on my pen, you'd crack it. What can cause cracks in walls and ceilings? Age, dampness, dryness, or bad workmanship can cause cracks in walls and ceilings. And spin, spin driver. What does the verb to spin mean? The verb to spin means to turn round and round very quickly, or make something turn round and round very quickly. What are the three forms of spin? The three forms spin are spin, spun, spun. What's a spin driver? A spin driver is a machine that drives clothes by spinning them round by very quickly. Sorry, showtime.
Okay, very good. Okay, so we stopped there for today, but very good. Very good reading, very good dictation, and very good practice for today. Okay, very good. So, oh, still got like